Hey, yo, what's up, America? When will it all end? When will it all end? It's like everyone is. When I say everyone, I mean average working Americans are doing the best that they can with what they have, and it just doesn't seem to be enough. You know what I mean? And it's like so many things continue to escalate when it comes to the progress of American citizens. It's like what needs to happen? What is the government doing? What are the people doing? Things need to happen. And it's crazy because people are literally, having the toughest time in this country than ever before. You got people that are living out of their cars. You got people that are living out of storage units. And you just got people that are of the average as well that are just living check to check, man. Check to check. They can't really think past that. And the issue is that every time, American or average American is trying to, find themselves, getting ahead or getting, beyond debt, people paying off their credit cards and things of that nature, it just seems like the goalpost just keeps moving further and further out. And at some point, you just ask yourself, when will this all end? And I'm speaking on terms of, paying bills. Paying bills is one of those things that just never cease to end. It's just an ongoing thing, And I know you guys are probably saying like, well, why are you complaining about that? Why, well, at the end of the day, half the things that we pay for when it comes to American is that a lot of the stuff was here for free before we even got here, before the oligarchies of the world put their name on the title of things that didn't belong to them. One being water, another being electricity, another thing being our food that's within the grocery stores, and produce, fruit, right? A lot of these people that slap their names on these fruits and stuff like that, they didn't own these things. They were here before they got here. But this is what I'm talking about. So then when you go into the grocery store, you're paying more money every time you step into the grocery store. You pay, this amount, and then the next month you come back, you're paying this amount. The next month you come back, you're paying this amount. It's like what are you guys trying to do? It's not clever. It doesn't take the brightest minds to understand that America is taking advantage of people. And it has to stop. It's one of those things where you just kind of look at it and you just wonder, like, man, like, do you guys honestly think that we are that stupid? But the issue is that everybody pretends to be doing well. They have this stigma of, if I don't say nothing and I just keep my head up and I keep going, I'm tough. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, that shit just don't make any sense to feel that way or to be that way. Because no one gives a shit that you feel that you're tough. At the same time, making it a point or or a symbol that you are seeing what's going on and you are acknowledging that, that makes more sense than you to act like things are not happening, if that makes sense. And we, were all taught, growing up to be like that. A lot of our parents and stuff like that were very tough. They come from a tougher era. I'm a millennial, so obviously my folks are extremely tough, right? My generation before me. I can't say the same for the Gen Zs and stuff like that, because they're in a whole different era, right? But if more than likely, if they came from the birth of my era, then they do have a certain level of strength in a crazy society like today. And it's like, man, when is this stuff gonna end, man? You know what I mean? Like, it's not clever to do people any type of way. It's not good karmic returns to do people this way. The oligarchies of the world are in power, and they are receiving most of the revenue, most of the the equity, while everybody else is fighting for crumbs and small change every week and every 2 weeks. There's a perfect imbalance with our pay system in this country. If you think I'm lying, go do the statistics. Go look at the numbers. When I make these videos, everything that I say is backed up by numbers. I don't get on here and just blow smoke. It's crazy, because they do, and they will try to pull the shade over you guys. So to make you think that you're gonna work your way out of this shit. And you're not. You are going to work yourself into an abyss of nothing. I've seen it repeatedly, generation after generation. An abyss of nothing. The only thing that I can remember and account for is just the love that I received from my folks before. When it comes to hugs, when it comes to kissing or kisses, from your loved ones. And that's the only thing that I could count for. Everything else was always work, right? And then when someone passes away, or they transition into the next into the next world, the kids that are still here, or the family that is still here, they don't have nothing, right? And it's not the generation before that's fault, because they don't understand. They never were taught anything. And at the same time, if you beat somebody into the ground with working, and they got to keep paying this and keep paying that and keep paying this, they'll never have a chance to do what they always wanted to do, and to put certain things aside for the next generation that they cared about the most. And I've seen this repeatedly, generation after generation, and it's going on until right now, because the situation hasn't gotten any better. You tell me if the situation has gotten any better with our economic system and the way things are going. Can you honestly sit here and say that? Absolutely not. Right? And here's another thing, man. This is the one where hold on. This is the part right here that really pisses me off. Is that people that worked hard to get a home, right? And this shit's been going on for so long, and I'm surprised that no one talks about this shit. You work so hard to go and buy a home, and then you work 30, 40, some 50 plus years to pay that home off, right? With that crazy ass fixed mortgage bullshit that they pushed together to have you forever paying shit. When you finally pay that off, what do? They move the goalposts. And how do they move the goalposts? It's called property tax. So now, after you pay all of that shit, now you got to pay property taxes. So at the end of the day, you never ever own the property, and you never will own the property. Now you tell me, how fair is that shit? You tell me, do they play by the rules? But that's all I got for you guys, man. You guys let me know what you think. I just try to, bring as much awareness as possible to people that may have not seen it a certain way. And that's exactly what we're gonna do, video to video. So you guys like, subscribe, and that's all I got for you. It's the voice of the people. Peace.